Looking for these better days.
It is Tuesday, November 18th. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. Cowboys rout the Raiders 33-16 on Monday Night Football last night as we go 3-1 on our same game parlay. The NBA model had a great night last night. We'll get into that and we'll take a look at what's on deck for tonight in both the NBA and NHL. Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And Mac, let's start with Monday Night Football last night. Dak Prescott threw for 268 yards, 4 touchdowns as the Cowboys handled the Raiders 33-16. I think it's going to be a close race now between Dak Prescott and Christian McCaffrey for comeback player of the year, but 268 yards and 4 touchdowns last night. Just another sign that, like, when the Cowboys are healthy and when Dak is right, like, this is a team that can compete with pretty much anybody in the NFL.
Yeah, Dak had an off year last year. He was like bottom 5 in QBR. Outside of that, if you said Dak Prescott's an elite quarterback by the numbers, I think you'd have a 6-7 year run, really, since Ezekiel Elliott wasn't Rookie of the Year anymore and it became Dak Prescott's team. He's been in the top 10 conversation. Playoff disappointments and the fact that he's part of the Cowboys will kind of leave people wanting, but he's a very good quarterback. And right now, he's number 1 in QBR and top 2 in PFF.
Wow.
Like everyone else in that range, Drake May, MVP candidate. Sam Darnold already had a bad game. Matthew Stafford, Jordan Love, Patrick Mahomes, it's all the best quarterbacks. And it's not really that far away from Dak Prescott's average. I really think the rest of the top quarterbacks have had a bad year. Like no one's killing it. And Dak Prescott's playing like to par, and that puts him like top 5.
Yeah, comeback player of the year odds currently up on FanDuel right now. Christian McCaffrey minus 130. He is your favorite, and that was my bet before the season started. And Dak Prescott is plus 150 as the second favorite. It's really a two-man race right now between Dak and Christian.
So what are we
McCaffrey
judging there? Like, is it like who's better at this point, or is it like who's coming back more? Like, do we go back and look at like, man, McCaffrey only played 2 games and Prescott played 4? I never get this award. I never got it.
So they both qualify because they're coming back from injuries, right? That prevented them from playing. You said Dak played 4 games, McCaffrey played 2 games. Like,
whatever it was.
They're both coming back, and it's just a matter of, I guess, who deserves to be,
Okay, so once you pass the criterion, it's just who's better. It's not like who came back more. Okay, all right.
I would say so, yeah. I guess because you can't measure like one player's adversity over the other if they're both coming back from injuries.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like, it's not like DeMar Hamlin died on the field and then came back,
If you die for 6 minutes, then you're almost guaranteed the award. But 3 minutes, you're fine.
Yeah, that's it. So I think it's going to be a very, very fun race here as we count down. Now, let's talk about the Cowboys here for a moment. 4-5-1 now, Mackenzie. The remainder of their schedule: home against the Eagles, home against the Chiefs, at the Lions, home to the Vikings, home to the Chargers, at the Commanders, and at the Giants. Is this a team that is a threat to make the playoffs in the NFC, or are they just going to be the team that plays the spoiler role for everybody else?
Let's look up the odds. I would have said before tonight, no chance, but you just went over their schedule. Some wins there. But Vegas says probably not. You can get 10-1 that they will make the playoffs. You got to bet 1-20 if you want to bet the no in that particular market.
Yeah, it's been adjusted up on FanDuel, plus 820 to make the playoffs, minus 1,600 though to miss the playoffs. I mean, right now, if the season ended today, the Cowboys are the 10 spot. So what do they have to do to get to the 7? It's going to take a lot.
The problem is there's 8 teams already that probably feel like they should be in the playoffs. I assume the Bears are going to drop out, but if not, either the Lions or the 49ers are going to miss.
Yeah, you think about that. The Lions right now are on the outside looking in. Lions are 6-4. They are not in the playoff picture. The Panthers are 6-5. They're still in the mix.
No chance.
Tampa at 6 and
Panthers. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to make it.
But Tampa at 6-4, just a very slim lead in that division. And you mentioned
so the Panthers are 6-5. Yeah, they're plus 500 to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's a tough race out there.
It really is a tough race. And hey, why not the Cowboys? Why not? The Cowboys steal some wins here, and they have the big games coming up, right? They got the game against the Lions. If the Cowboys beat the Lions, that's going to be a major step into helping them make the playoffs. So I don't think it's out of the question. Now, do I want to bet plus 820? Listen, if the odds changed for a reason because they won and they improved their record with the win last night. If I could still get the 10-1 or the 12-1, I think I'd take a shot at it. But 4-5-1, probably still not likely. And can we really say that this defense is fixed when they played a pathetic Raiders team? Like, no, let's see what they do coming up here in a couple of weeks. Now, last night we gave out a same game. We gave out a same game parlay yesterday morning for last night's game. It went 3-1.
So close.
So disappointing. So disappointing. Our legs of the 4-leg same game parlay. The Dallas Cowboys minus the 3.5. Easy win and cover, right? Ashton Jeanty under 66.5 rushing yards. He had 6 carries for 7 yards.
That was over in the first quarter.
Yeah. We had Brock Bowers over his receiving yardage, which actually closed, I believe, 69.5. At least that's what I bet it at. And he had 7 catches for 72. Remember, his receptions prop, which you wanted to go over with, Mackenzie, was 6.5, and he did finish with 7. The one leg that we did not hit on was Geno Smith to have over 1.5 touchdown passes. He had 1 touchdown pass, and the Raiders settled for a bunch of field goals. Geno finished 27 of 42, 238 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
So he would have gone under his yardage props too. Because whenever we were thinking about either one, sometimes I like it better if they both just miss.
Yeah, and they both did miss. Raiders fall to 2-8 on the season. Cowboys, as we mentioned, 4-5-1. Let's talk about the other news in the NFL that came down yesterday. Ja'Marr Chase has been suspended for 1 game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Now, there's precedent for this, right? I mean, we saw in week number 1, right with the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Carter, who missed that game, and the league saying, hey, that pretty much served as your 1-game suspension. So now we know if you spit, you get 1 game.
Didn't Dak Prescott spit at Jalen Carter first? That's how he tells it.
Yeah, the video shows that he did.
There was a Bruder film of Spitgate, week 1.
There is going to be an appeal, so we'll find out in a couple of days if, in fact, he is going to miss the coming game against the New England Patriots.
I was asking if you wanted spaghetti. Yeah.
Elsewhere, a couple of quarterback changes here in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders is going to be getting the start for the Cleveland Browns, as Dylan Gabriel is in the concussion protocol. And so this is what we kind of expected, and we teased this, meaning we know that it's very hard to go through the concussion protocol and then make it through for that 1 week. So Shedeur Sanders will get the start here for their game coming up at the Raiders. Kind of a soft landing spot, Mackenzie, to make your first start.
Yeah, and we were talking about this game last night or yesterday morning, depending when you were listening. That's when we were talking about it. And this was 3, and now it's a slight downgrade for the Raiders, even though it's confirmed now that it's Shedeur Sanders. So did the Raiders play badly enough to get you off them? Because I think everyone and their mom is going to want to fade Shedeur Sanders after his... Or maybe he plays better. Maybe he gets reps with the first team. I don't know. Are you eager to fade him, or do you think the Raiders are so bad you want to wait till next week?
Man, I feel like I want to fade him. I feel like I want to fade.
Maybe we can get a 2.5. Maybe the public, the hype machine, Deion Sanders starts talking. If we can get a 2.5, I'm all with. I love it.
Well, let's just bet the under.
Well,
the Browns
36.5 is 36.5. Man, Chip Kelly, what are you doing?
The Browns defense is going to show up for sure. Elsewhere, the New York Jets making the decision as expected. They are benching Justin Fields and turning to Tyrod Taylor. So
did you expect that? I didn't even think. Yes. I said he should never play again after the London game, but I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. It's a long time coming. Yes, he's proven enough. He can't play. He's not. He's done. He's done. Jets take on the Ravens, and you know something, Mackenzie? This was 14.5 earlier, and now up on FanDuel, the Ravens are 13.5 point favorites. So it seems like the market is thinking, well, Tyrod Taylor gives the Jets a little bit of an upgrade.
It's a huge upgrade, and through a key number of 14, but I don't think it's unwarranted. I mean, we know what he is. He's the 40th best quarterback in the world for the last 10 years. He can play, but he's just not, anything great.
Elsewhere, Kirk Cousins is going to be taking over for the Atlanta Falcons as Michael Penix has a knee injury and he is expected to miss the remainder of the season. So it'll be Kirk Cousins back at quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, this is interesting, Mackenzie. Falcons are at the New Orleans Saints, and the Saints are 1.5-point favorites.
Wow.
Now, it's not just...
That's got to be the first favorite of the season.
It's not just the fact that Cousins is starting, but Drake London is also dealing with a knee injury, and as he is expected to be week to week. So you're going to be without Michael Penix, and you're going to be without Drake London here going to New Orleans.
Do you know who was the number one quarterback by the metric of ESPN QBR in Week 11? Dak Prescott was third with the 87 that just came in.
Who had a really good game?
He's not playing next week, nor the week after. Michael Penix with a 90 QBR came in at number one.
Wow.
I mean, if you freezed it as a Falcons fan at halftime, 21-10, if you're Penix, who no one believed in, is finally playing a good game, man, life comes at you fast. And now you don't have Penix, not that he was going to be great necessarily, and you're done.
So the Saints favored at home. You said you were wondering, like, when the, if how rare is that? Well, let's look it up. The last time the Saints were a favorite in a game, it was actually, let's see. Oh, this year they were favored against the Giants. What are we saying? They were 2.5-point favorites against the Giants this year. And then last year, 5.5-point favorites against the Giants, actually.
Giants was a good matchup for them.
Yep. And then November of 2024, they were favored against the Panthers. Okay.
You know what's the craziest stat? They were
favored against the Eagles in week two with Derek Carr. Yeah.
The Super Bowl champions. They were like not in New Orleans.
Not against Derek Carr putting up 50 points a game for the Saints offense. No thanks.
Kubiak had a day.
Yeah, all right. That's going to be a fun game to watch for certain. We'll have more on NFL Week 12 coming up tomorrow. The Trench Report will be out as it is released every single Wednesday up on BetterDay.com. So we'll unveil the Trench Report coming up on tomorrow's pod. But let's get to some NBA and NHL action where it was a great night for the model. Yesterday, we sent out an email and an article up on BetterDay.com. It was the Monday Model Picks, Mackenzie's Monday Model. Yes, the NBA Model, which made its debut up on BetterDay.com last Wednesday, was back here for 5 games that the model selected in the NBA slate last night. Now, I'm going to read the spreads at the time the model was published. So these are the spreads that we gave out up on BetterDay.com and in the article that was emailed to all of you BetterDay.com subscribers. The best bet of the night, which was also up on our picks page up on BetterDay.com from Mackenzie Rivers, Cleveland -7. That one was a cover. Cavs beat the Bucks 118-106.
Giannis goes out early, but I think we had it the whole way.
All right. You don't have to make excuses, Mackenzie.
Yeah, you don't apologize for wins in this country.
Yeah, you beat them. The number 2 game in the model, the Pelicans versus the Thunder. The model selected OKC -17.5. The Thunder win the game by 17 points, 126-109. So this is one where, you probably were able to get better numbers, like if you shopped around, depending on your sports book. So some of you might have cashed. I cashed. I laid 16.5. I got lucky. So I cashed. Shout out to the model. And you realize that the Pelicans made a layup with 1 second remaining on the clock to make the score, to get a couple of extra
lost
points
by exactly 17. The Thunder were the biggest road favorites in NBA history. There had been 17-point favorites. This closed 18 or more. Never seen that before as far as the database goes back. And I think the model was right because the model predicts what you're going to do when the game is in contention. 49-24 after the first quarter, a record number of points for the Thunder. Maybe take a little bit off the table if you have a huge bet on 17.5. If you're up by 30 after 10 minutes.
Yeah, but still, hey, again, numbers matter. If you were
Yep.
able to get a different number, I think it closed actually at 18.5. So, but again, depending on the book, like you look around and you see what book you could have gotten at. But yeah, Jeremiah Fears made a layup with 1 second on the clock to make a 126-107 score, 126 to 109.
Do they have
How
no
about that?
decorum? Who's their new
Yeah.
coach?
Yeah,
Scoring with
right?
one
Just
second
throw
on
the
the
clock
clock.
out. What are you doing? What are you
The
doing?
Thunder had a shot clock turnover with 6 seconds. They were like, great. Lay it. Come on.
He ran the cover play. He ran the cover play.
What is this,
All right,
amateur hour?
the next pick in the motto was the New York Knicks +2 against the Miami Heat. If you were able to get that +2 or even the +2.5 or +3 before money came in on the Knicks and this thing shot down to +1, well, the Knicks lost by 2, 115 to 113 in Miami. So you got to push on the model, Mackenzie.
Without Jalen Brunson, this Knicks team is still worthy of probably being the best team in the East outside of the Cavs. And we could have got this. This was a goaltending at the. I mean, it was literally like they were looking at the shot clock. I guess you did get it. I mean, you're really going to bury the lead. We're really going to talk about all these games and not mention that you parlayed all 5 and won with a freaking plus 1,500 bet.
Well, can we finish going over the 5 games first?
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time, exactly.
After
the next pick in the motto was the Hornets over the Raptors. Charlotte +8.5 in the article, and Charlotte loses by 2 to the Raptors, 110 to 108. So an easy cover of the +8.5 on your model.
And it's a perfect encapsulation of why the model loves the Hornets almost every game. They were 10 for 40. They should have won this game by 12 points, but they couldn't hit the side of a barnyard from 3-point range, despite having some decent shooters. LaMelo Ball was 1 for 7, but the model's going to like them probably the next game because this eventually will regress, and the rest of everything they're doing right, like their rookie Ryan Cockburn are getting 2 blocks a game, it's going to show up, and this team's going to be one of the best ATS teams that wins 30 games.
I think we have to click on the explicit language for that name that you just dropped. So
Ryan,
we apologize.
Ryan K. We like Ryan K.
We apologize for all of you sensitive ears out there. Final game in the motto was the Detroit Pistons -10.5 over the Indiana Pacers. That was a win and a cover as the Pistons defeated the Pacers 127 to 112. Indy 1-13 now on the season. Mac,
I mentioned this in the write-up. It's hard for me to judge in a power ratings perspective how these replacement players essentially are going to play for the Pacers, but that's where the model kind of helps me because the model is ambivalent to any data inputs that is created, but these were the guys. I mean, if you lose starters, it'll change, but these were the guys that haven't playing for them, and this is how bad they are. They are 0-8 on the road. They are the worst team in the NBA, not named the Wizards or the Nets.
So that makes last night's plays 3-0-1 in the model. Your only loss in the model, though, was by half a point.
3-1-1.
3-1-1, excuse me. Your only loss in the model was by a half a point. The 17.5, they win by 17. So the Oklahoma City
5-3 in our debut article last Wednesday.
Yes.
So that's 8-4-1.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
And what are we up to on the season? The model is now what?
57 and 47. I started it. Technically, it has an estimate for every game, but game 1, it's I don't think it's worthy. So I just started the count after day 3. Actually, days 1, 2, and 3 were better. Were great. I'd throw them in and it'd be slightly better. But I think to be fair, 57 and 47 is the official record.
So 8-4 so far on the Better Day releases,
and it should do better. I mean,
model.
I haven't done the study yet because I have 3 years of data, like what month it does the best in. But it should do better with more data. That's only logical.
Absolutely. And yes, as Mackenzie said, I did parlay all 5 games and did get the best of the line there with the Knicks at +2.5. So I got lucky and covered there by a half a point. Also got lucky and got the 16.5 with the Thunder and covered by a half a point there. So sometimes you got to get lucky when you hit these things. Yeah. But it was a fun little sprinkle, a little pizza money to have some fun with the model. And obviously I bet the best bet individually. And shout out to all the followers. I believe one of our followers, Jason, tweeted at us that
love Jason.
Shout out to Jason. He had a big bet on the Cavs tonight, as that was the best bet that Mackenzie had given out, and the Cavs win with ease. And now we move on to Tuesday night's slate here in the NBA. Let's talk about some of the games on the schedule here tonight, Mackenzie. And every time I see the Celtics on the schedule, I'm like hoping that they lose because then we can play a system play on their next game. But not to be the case here. Here's your NBC/Peacock doubleheader for tonight. It'll be the San Antonio Spurs without Victor Wembanyama, who's going to be out for a little bit of time here. They are 6-point favorites at home against the Memphis Grizzlies. How do you look at this game now? How do you look at this spread with the Spurs playing without Wemby?
Well, we have one data point without Wemby with De'Aaron Fox, and that was Saturday, and that was a cruise 13-point win as closing 5.5-point favorites over the Kings. I think that's a critical data point because we have a new coach, essentially, a new coach as far as contending in the NBA, and you have a lot of new pieces. De'Aaron Fox getting his sea legs, this might actually be an opportunity for him. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies have fallen and they can't get up. Ja Morant has gone from a malcontent to like just a bad NBA player at this point. I like the Spurs a lot here. And by the way, there's one model pick. That means value over 0.8 points. And it loves them. It loves it. It's the Spurs. We like the Spurs tomorrow.
All right. Up on FanDuel, Spurs 6-point favorites over the Memphis Grizzlies. Other games on your schedule for tonight, you got the Warriors at the Magic, Golden State 3.5-point favorites at the Magic. Celtics, as we mentioned, 10.5-point favorites. They are at Brooklyn against the Nets. Pistons on the second of a back-to-back, 1.5-point favorites at Atlanta over the Hawks. The Lakers, 12.5-point favorites at home over the Utah Jazz. And the second game of your NBC/Peacock doubleheader, it is the Suns at the Blazers, currently up on FanDuel right now. Mackenzie, Blazers 1.5-point favorites.
Both these teams in that like expected to regress, but somehow in the playoff picture at this point. I think the Blazers preseason were considered a team that had this upside, and the Suns weren't. The Suns had a much lower win total. But on the season, even though the record's somewhat similar, I think the Suns have played a lot better. And at the end of the day, the NBA is a star league. Devin Booker flirted with a top 5-ish ranking. He was, above Jason Tatum in a lot of rankings a couple of years ago. He's kind of been in the wilderness, but this year maybe he's got some fire under his belly. He's played like that type of top 10 talent.
All right. In the NHL tonight, as we always like to look for our situational spots, and as we always mentioned, my favorite situational spots to bet on in the NHL is when a team is playing on the second night of a back-to-back. And so you look at the teams that are playing with no rest, and we actually have two of them here tonight. The Blue Jackets are in Winnipeg to take on the Jets. The Mammoth are in San Jose to take on the Sharks. Currently up on FanDuel right now, it is the Winnipeg Jets at -196 over Columbus, and the Utah actually -140 on the road in San Jose. I like Winnipeg over Columbus. We have seen that the Canadian teams actually have the edge in these back-to-back spots when teams have to travel. So
you think they get across the border easier, or why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's just it's something here. I don't know.
Water.
But, Columbus was home last night, and now having to ship up to Winnipeg to take on the Jets. It will be Winnipeg or pass for me. I don't have any interest in going -196, but you can get a +126 price up on FanDuel right now if you take the -1.5 for Winnipeg. So here's something. Since the start of the 2021 season, right? We always like to look at the start of the 21 season, and you are on the road at the Winnipeg Jets on the second night of a back-to-back, Mackenzie. 7 wins, 22 losses. It's pretty strong.
It's pretty strong.
Puck line, not great, though. 12-17 on the puck line. So it's still 60%. Like, you're still, if I tell you you have a 60% bet and it's +126, I mean, I think like you take it, right?
I think you take it.
I think you take it. I think that's what we're going to have to play here for tonight. Also tonight, the Rangers are here in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. I might be in attendance at that game tonight. I haven't quite decided just yet, but the Rangers are going to be without their head coach, Mike Sullivan, who is out for some personal reasons. He missed their game on Sunday night against Detroit because of personal reasons, and it looks like he might be.
You think you could give it a go for one game?
I think he can give it a go.
No, you think you could? You think you could hop in? Hey, I'm from the area. I know this team real well.
I'll coach the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll coach the team. Sure. Like, why not? I
How
got him.
hard could it be?
How quick could it be? Yeah, I'll coach this team. So we'll see what the Rangers do tonight here in Vegas against the Knights. VGK a minus 146 favorite. Total here is at 6.5. And as always, head to betterday.com. Check out our NHL first period database. All sortable, interactive for you guys, and you can figure out what plays you want to make tonight in the NHL based on maybe the first period data. Don't forget, you can click on each individual team and get the sortable stats for game by game, all the fun stuff there. That's all for you up on betterday.com. We got some exciting announcements coming probably tomorrow, I want to say. We're going to unveil the announcements, so you want to stay tuned. I'll send an email to all the subscribers as well, and it's a good time. It's a good time to be on board here at
Hey, it's a good time to cash a 5-leg parlay in the NBA.
It's a good time to dominate the Sunday slate of the NFL like we did. It's a good time to cash our NBA best bets. It's a good time to just have a good time. That's all I'll have to say.
Have some better days.
Let's have some better days. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.